What's up, everybody? I figured, well, Krista said we should do a stream because we were just hanging out down here, and it was either we stream or we either play some Stardew Valley or Star Citizen because that's what we've been on lately. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, I am. It is picking me up on your mic for some reason, which is weird because we did checks right before we started. But
Told you.
you guys will just have to deal with it. Let me check her settings really quick. I'm just gonna put it directly to her microphone because I think it was doing better directly to the microphone. So go ahead and talk,
Yeah.
Krista. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you. So yeah, the main thing here is trying to figure out what's going on with all this stuff. If you guys haven't been keeping up, I know I'm a little late to the party because we've been dealing with new baby. That's Mr. Charlie sleeping on her chest there. But yeah, there's two big things I want to talk about on this stream, and the first one is the bans, which it's basically going to be a ban. There's a bunch of states. California, shockingly, is one of them pushing this stuff to basically put controls on your printer that will make it report to the government before it'll start a print. So, meaning if I go to start a print, Chrissy, yeah, your mic's picking me up. If you want to just mute when you're not talking, I think there's a. So I think if you do up A or on your keyboard, if Talk Studio is selected, you can do Shift A.
I can mute my headset. It's
Toggle it.
fine.
Okay. Yeah, we're like across from each other. Our computers are back to back. So, anyways, if you guys think about it, do you want anyone, regardless of what you're printing, telling you what you can and can't print with your printer? Because last time I checked, we're the ones who forked over the money for it. We're the ones who pay for the supplies, the repairs, the the filament and the electricity and all the costs associated with printing. Um, I don't want anybody telling me what we can and can't do. Here in the U.S. right now, they're using this as for guns. This is just a start. They're going to use it to control everything. They don't want you to be able to make parts for, your house or mounts or whatever you want. They don't want you to be able to be more self-sufficient. And the other thing too is, and I've got a bunch of, so the first part of this stream is going to be talking about that. I've got a video from Joel Telling, of all people. Um, I don't have a problem with him, but I'm just shocked that he's making a video because he is very far, even though this isn't, in my opinion, a political issue. He's very far left on the spectrum. So the fact that he was speaking out against this tells you how serious it is. If even the left-leaning people are going, hey, this is a problem, and it is, and everybody should be doing this, because a lot of people see, and I've seen people talking about this on Discord and just in passing about this. They're like, oh, well, it's just guns. What do you have to worry about? It's privacy. It starts with this one thing. Like, think about it. They're going to have to build an entire database of models to check against. And your printer is going to have a capability to talk to that database, send it what you're printing. The database checks it against it and goes, oh, yeah, you can print this. This doesn't look like a gun. If you guys think about it, printers like the older ones, the Ender 3s, or even not even older ones, even the printers we have these days, like the more modern ones, the Bamboos, the K2 Pluses, the K1s, Anycubic Cobras, they don't have the processing power to do that. So it's going to have to be, every single printer is going to be connected to the fucking cloud, and all your shit that you're doing on it is going to be sent outside of your house. And if you don't let it do that, you can't use the device you bought. The printers, like the older machines that are standalone, that have no Wi-Fi and have no network connectivity, like I'm just going to use the Ender 3 example because it's the most well-known one. They have no way to talk to the internet at all, period. They have a USB port that can plug into another device like a computer or Raspberry Pi. They have no capabilities to get online at all, meaning they'll do whatever you tell them to do. So I'm going to go into this. We're going to kind of be doing like more React style content like we did. I just paid for a year of the Talk Studio here that we're using, which we used before on our streams. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to start off with, I think I'm going to start off with one of Loyal Moses' videos. I have here, so California just killed open source. I'm going to start with the open source can't say, because a lot of the people are thinking, oh, well, we'll just do open source and we'll just build our own printers. And this video talks about why this won't work. And I do agree with it. So we're going to kind of just pause this. I know he's not going to copyright strike us, so I'm not worried about it. Joel telling me he might, so I might have to pause it a lot. But I'm going to pause it if there's something that Chris or I want to talk about or pitch in. So let's go ahead and start this.
As much as I love open source, and it pains me to say this, open source is not going to save 3D printing. And I'll get to that in just a second. But first, let me explain why this is happening before I explain exactly why open source can't really stop what's happening. First, I want you to replace 3D printing, the term, with additive manufacturing. And that's really what the attack is. So for those of you who aren't in the know, Washington, California, New York, and now a couple of other states here, including Colorado, are introducing legislation all at the same time to really clamp down on 3D printing. And specifically, they're calling out 3D printing.
Yeah, and it's not just one state doing this. It's multiple states. And as of right now, they're all left-leaning states. I'm not shocked, but just pointing that out, that's fact. If that bothers you for pointing me out a fact, then I don't know what to tell you. Don't watch. But the problem is once it starts in one state, it spreads like a cancer to everywhere else. Think about all the crap that California has done that's spread to everywhere else, like restrictions and shit. So just keep that in mind.
Ghost guns or firearms. But we all know that that's really the Trojan horse. That's really what this isn't about. And the proof of that is because it's already federally legal for you to manufacture your own personal firearm here in the United States. So at the state level, they're really clamping down on 3D printing, additive manufacturing, and they're using the firearms and the ghost guns as the excuse. Lathes, CNC machines, drill presses, those things have already existed, and they're far superior at building your own personal firearms. But they require space, financial support, and skill.
Printers are a lot cheaper.
3D printers are extremely inexpensive. You can have dozens of them in your home, and doesn't really require a lot of skill now. They're pretty simple. Order it from a website, shows up, start printing what you want. That simple. That's truly what the problem is, because additive manufacturing is very much a disruptive technology.
Yeah, think about that. Over the last, I want to say 3 to 4 years, we went from printers where you had to dig in and understand what you're doing to a point to use the machine, because there was really no support. You relying on YouTube channels, Facebook groups, Discord servers, that kind of stuff. And now with the Bamboo printers, the Creality's new printers, Anycubic's printers, Elegoo's new printers, they're pretty much take it out of the box. You might have to put a couple screws in and connect a couple cables, but they're pretty much take it out of the box, throw the film in, and you're printing 9 times out of 10 now, regardless of the brand. It's gotten very easy, and this is the problem, and I see this happening with other markets that I've been in previously and stuff that I'm into now, where the general public gets in, it gets traction, and then it gets too much attention, and bad shit happens like this.
So in 2026, and I think I have my notes here, the Pentagon included $3.3 billion in their budget for 3D printing technology. Now, included there,
they say 3.3 billion. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. That's a lot of fucking money. Holy shit.
That's expensive.
Yeah. You can leave your thing unmuted now because I'm not going to be talking that much. Okay.
The Pentagon just announced a 300,000 one-way attack drone program called the Drone Dominance Program. Do you think that the government, after banning DJI from the United States, is going to permit or allow 1 million one-way attack drone manufacturing facilities in homes all across the country? You see the problem? Additive manufacturing is truly the issue. It has nothing to do with the firearms. Now, to get to my bigger point about open source and how this can't stop it, because my comments are filled with people screaming at me, telling me that it doesn't matter, they're going to print what they want, they're going to do what they want, they're going to flash firmware, that open source is going to save us all.
Yeah, literally right here. Chris here, we need to go back to building printers from scratch. Well, pay attention to what he says in this video, because that's not going to work either. And of course, we got spammers on Twitch. I'll have to log into Twitch and ban them.
Now, great, I love open source. Spent my whole life in it. But open source is not the cure. If they have already, in like Washington State, made 3D printing files that are associated with firearms illegal, and they require a blocking technology like California and New York, do you think that they're going to allow you to just go out on the internet, jump on GitHub, download some open source, firmware for your 3D printer, flash it, and continue? No. Do you know why? Because they already wrote in the bill to block that circumvention. They literally say in the bill that it cannot be bypassed by a person with like reasonable technical skill. So if a 3D printer manufacturer has to stop you or anyone that has a reasonably technical skill from bypassing this blocking technology, that means they can't allow you to flash firmware. These 3D printers will have to lock down the machines, these 3D printing companies, to stop you from doing that. That means it will all be proprietary, it will all be custom, no more flashing your own machines. So open source is effectively dead there. Now, two, do you think that they're going to still allow that open source code to exist on GitHub? No. That is literally software on the internet that's going to be there to bypass the laws that they've passed that are supposed to protect us from these ghost guns. They're not going to allow that. Effectively, those open source programs, Clipper, Marlin, they become illegal because people could just download it from GitHub. They could remove the blocking technology, compile, and flash. So that's not going to happen. The only way it could really truly kind of still be here and exist is kind of the underground black market kind of 3D printer world that we're going to live in, where older machines are the popular machines, the machines that you can flash.
Yeah, except there's only a finite amount of those machines. We still have a bunch of older machines that have been updated and would not be affected by this. But in one of the other videos, he goes through, they have specific things in these bills too that basically say if you sell an old printer that doesn't have this technology on it, it's a $25,000 fine per offense. Per offense.
Newer machines are all going to be custom firmware from these major manufacturers because they're going to have to comply with the laws in order to continue to sell 3D printers here in the United States. And speaking of GitHub, right, some controversy there because GitHub just announced that they're having AI scan all publicly available projects to train their AI. Now, how hard would it be for GitHub to literally comply with state and federal law and have it scan and look for code that violates law? That's what I'm saying. Things are going to get really complicated here. Now,
and GitHub, just so everybody knows, GitHub's owned by Microsoft. You think Microsoft is going to allow code on there that allows circumvention of this? Like Marlin and Clipper and all these projects, as they stand, are in violation of these laws if these actually pass.
Now, the Pentagon, right? Is it the Pentagon? No, I think it's just the whole U.S. government already banned the use of foreign-made 3D printers. They want domestic-only 3D printers in the U.S. government.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm just saying, good luck with that.
And don't think that these 3D printing companies are going to fight for us because they are under an immense amount of pressure, maybe even more than we are. There is a $25,000 civil infraction against 3D printing companies if they allow this blocking technology to be bypassed or circumvented. And then there's a misdemeanor charge on the individual. Now,
yeah, think about that. If you're in a state that one of these laws passes and you sell a printer to another person or even give it to somebody, the word in the bills is transferred. Okay. So if I give you my old Ender 2, okay, and I live in a state that has one of these bullshit bills passed, I have now committed a misdemeanor and I am liable for a $25,000 fine. Now, if any of these laws actually pass, nobody should follow them. I'm just saying they're unjust, they're unconstitutional, they're bullshit, and it's been proven time and time again that laws that go against the Constitution, this would fall under the free speech type of thing, and possibly our right to bear arms in terms of the context of the printers. It's not aligned with our Constitution. So I want to make everybody aware of this because if you guys live in the states, if you guys live in one of these states that passes this, you guys should be getting involved and contacting your representatives and letting them know how stupid this is and how much this is going to screw over this industry and children, and like they're like to save the children from the guns. Do you know how many schools that have 3D printers that will no longer be able to use their printers? A lot of schools that can't afford to buy new machines that have this new crap built into them. Like, it's not good.
Now, also think about what FlashForge did. So several months ago when FlashForge sent out their social media campaign threatening customers that if you printed something that
you guys remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Violated the law, that they would report you. Well, they don't even have the technology to do that. And now look at Creality. We just got a post from Creality from someone who purchased outside of the United States, and in their purchase invoice, it literally warned them and basically said, if you are purchasing from Creality, you have to promise that you're not using that printer to print any firearms or firearms accessories or anything that violates your local law.
I did have a customer of ours give us a FlashForge. I kind of want to print a Glock on it and tag them on social media.
I'm so down for you to do that. Please do it.
Printers are really great at printing guns.
So do we see the problem here? So the US government's already clamping down on it. 3D printing is seeing a full court press from multiple states on this hobby, and they're using the firearms as kind of the excuse, as the Trojan horse.
Yeah, they are. This is just the start. You think they're not going to have a database of, oh, you know that, I don't know, man, that part you printed for your lawnmower, that looks really similar to the part that Husqvarna made, and you know that's in our database. You're not allowed to print that because that's their intellectual property. You know.
And I know this sounded bad. I know this sounds a little bit conspiracy theory. I promise you, I am as far from conspiracy theory as you can get. I am very much a realist. And that's probably why I get the flack that I do, is because I'm just trying to spit the truth and tell you exactly the way that it is. And it's not just 3D printers, it's also filament. You may not be aware of this, but in California, if a 3D printing filament company doesn't disclose the toxic chemicals that are in their filaments, it's like a $2,500 fine per day per violation. What's a toxic chemical? Styrene, ABS, ASA filaments.
Everything causes cancer in California. I remember I've been to California, I think once, at least once. I can't remember if I've been there twice, but the first thing I remember is stepping off the plane, and there's this big placard right in the doorway where you get off, where, you know, kind of comes up against the plane. And it literally warned you that the jet fuel fumes that, you know, because you're coming off the plane, are exposing you to cancer right now. It was a Prop 65 warning for the jet fuel fumes as you're exiting the plane. And I just fucking laughed. So, yeah.
I'm telling you, this will affect our entire industry. 3D printers are only going to be choked down more and more. Every single year from here on forward, this is going to get more and more difficult. And last, people keep saying that the technology doesn't exist to block 3D prints, that it can't happen. And that is absolutely not true. In fact, I have a video on it, and the company's name is called Print and Go, and the product is called 3D Gunt. And they are working with New York legislators to make it happen. So the technology does in fact exist, and this is going to happen. I'm interested in what you think. I'm interested if you disagree with me. If you still think that open source can do it, yeah, tell me in the comments or prove me wrong. And as with all this legislation,
so I'm gonna let that go. He just kind of goes over the more things. This goes over the bill in California, and California is a huge state. I hate California, but what they do in California tends to spread like a cancer throughout the rest of the country. So it's good to keep an eye on what they're doing. And this video was posted a couple months ago. I don't know. Let's check and see if this actually. I'm gonna search this here. Let me see here. I'll check the assembly bill here to see if it actually, if it actually passed yet. Let's find out here. Let me share my screen here. Because this is the bill here. was published February 17th of this year. Let's see. So this passed. Here on the 14th, so 10 days ago, this passed. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not entirely sure of the workflow, how far this has to go. I know there's multiple steps, but yeah. So on 324, they voted, and yeah, 6 yays. I don't know what NBR is at not voted, maybe. But yeah, and then 414. So it's moving along. It's not dying. It's moving along. So yeah,
California is a terrible state.
yeah. You could not pay me to live there. Yeah, let's go in and see what they're talking about. That's crazy. So 10 days ago, this actually passed further along in their legislation. That's great.
You buy a 3D printer, you own it, you mod it, you fix it, and then you sell it later when you upgrade. Well, that all sounds pretty normal, doesn't it?
Yep.
But California AB 2047 is designed to end all of that. And this goes far beyond the borders of California and 3D printers in general. For those that have been following along, you might be thinking you've heard all of this before, but believe me, it is far from redundant. You'll pick up on some similarities with other states, but stick with me all the way through this whole thing, because this is about to blow your minds on what they are actually doing to our industry. It's every single thing that we thought was too crazy to become law actually happening. It turns 3D printers into something that's effectively licensed at the device model level. Approved workflows, approved lists, approved vendors, and a system that's designed to stop a technically skilled person from getting around it. This is your printer must obey the state before it executes a print job. And if you think this is just California, this is just so much bigger. California is how rules get exported into global firmware, global slicers, and global product lines.
Yeah, California is a huge economy. Like, they're not just gonna be like, we're not gonna sell to California. It's gonna get pushed. This is the problem.
This is about transferring control over the machines in your home from you to a distant list, a distant set of rules that you never voted on and can't negotiate with. And it starts with 3D printers, but it does not end there. Here is the clever part. AB 2047 does not come right out and say, we are hereby banning 3D printers. Instead, it builds a cage around them. It says any printer sold or transferred in California must be fitted with a special layer of control. That control has to be certified. The certification depends on algorithms and software processes that the state approves. The state then publishes a list of good printers. Retailers and distributors must check that list. Ordinary people are forbidden from selling or transferring printers that are not on that list. Nobody walks onto the floor of the legislature and screams, let's outlaw your Bamboo, your Voron, and your Prusa. They don't have to. They just make it impossible to legally move those machines anymore, or to update them, or to keep them in their original open state. Functionally, they are pushed out of the legal market. That is how you ban a class of devices in slow motion.
Yeah, you just make it impossible to get them and transfer the ones that already exist.
Think about what ownership used to mean. If you bought a drill, you could drill into whatever you wanted. If you bought a computer, you could install whatever software that you wanted. If you bought a car, you could wrench on it, you could upgrade it, you could strip it for parts. You might void a warranty, but you weren't committing a legal offense by exercising control over something that you owned. Well, AB 2047 flips that relationship entirely upside down. It introduces systems where your printer will not proceed unless certain conditions.
Yeah, so this is the text from the actual bill he's showing here. The printer, here, firearm blocking technology means hardware, firmware, or other integrated technological measures capable of ensuring a three-dimensional printer will not proceed to any print job unless the underlying three-dimensional printing file has been evaluated by a firearms blueprint detection algorithm and determined not to be printing a file that produces a firearm or illegal firearm parts. The only way to do this without having some crazy overpowered computer built into the printer that has enough horsepower and has enough storage to store all this is to send it out to some cloud shit, which is going to be run by the government. No. And not just no, fuck no.
Are met. It transforms a yes by default tool into a no by default tool. Your printer no longer simply...
Yeah, imagine if this, because it's going to be cloud connected. If this passes, they're going to have to do this with cloud. Get it? So what happens if your internet connection's down and you want to print? Guess what? Tough shit. We can't talk to the servers. You're not getting authorized to print.
Follows your instructions. Before it obeys you, it must consult an invisible online rulebook. And that rulebook is not written by you. It is written by politicians, committees, agencies, and maybe even third-party vendors who you will never see in your workshop or your project.
So I see here, Linux has faced so many hurdles. Linux is about to face hurdles in the next topic, which is talking about operating system level age verification. We are living in a dystopian fucking hellscape right now. I fucking hate it. I was watching one of these videos, one of the Loyal Moses videos, where he's talking about Ford has just filed a bunch of patents to basically make it so your car will not shift from park to drive if cameras in your vehicle determine that it thinks you're not fit to drive, like if you're panicked or something or you're upset. Fucking, yeah, I hate this timeline we're in. It's fucking insane. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
Projects or your needs. You still bought the machine, you still paid full price, and likely even way more after this, but each print job becomes a request, asking for permission.
The other thing too, didn't think about this. Do you know how much more expensive it's going to make the printers if it has to have something on board to process and handle all that shit? You guys know how expensive fucking memory is right now and storage?
Not a command. Let me jump right in here just for a moment. I'm actually right in the middle of the edit, and this thought crossed my mind that I thought that was really important. So in the last series of videos, there's been a lot of comments where people seem to be blaming Bamboo Lab and Creality and these other companies, these 3D printer companies, for all of these issues and problems. And I want to make it very clear where we need to place the blame. The blame doesn't need to be targeted at the companies or at the makers.
Yeah, if you think it's the companies, I like, it's not the companies. They're trying to prepare for all this bullshit coming into the pipeline so they can keep selling their products. Otherwise, we know the Chinese don't want to spend money when they don't have to, hence why you guys don't get any sort of tech support with the printers. That's why we repair. Actually, I'm pretty sure like 90% of the Bamboo printers we've repaired, and even other models too. Some of the newer Crealities, we get a lot of Bamboos in because they're a popular brand. They're all under warranty because they don't want to spend the money on actual tech support people. They're not going to do this just because this is added cost. They're doing it because they are seeing all the shit happening and they're trying to prepare.
It needs to be put on the politicians who are interfering with our industry, right? In fact, if you look at it from this perspective, companies like Bamboo and Creality are the victims. This is not an isolated incident.
Yeah, I see here, and for the record, I'm not a fan of Bamboo in terms of how locked down they make their machines. They're very Apple-esque, and I don't own any Apple devices. I won't buy any Apple devices. The only Apple device in this house is Chris's iPhone, and that's how we're keeping it. They're basically the Apple 3D printing. They make good printers, but just don't like how they run the company. So I spend my money elsewhere. We actually just spent about over $4,000 on more Creality K2 Pluses to update our print farm and expand larger print operations. We didn't buy a bunch of Bamboos. We bought a bunch of Crealities, and we had issues with them, but I'll take that because at least I can get into my Creality printers and do what I want with them.
This is coordinated. And I know that's why it sounds so redundant that you think that you've watched this video before, right? Just in a different state. But this is so much different. Every state that's involved in this is putting massive amounts of pressure on these 3D printer manufacturers in our space. They are forcing them to comply, which ultimately takes 3D printing away from us. So what I'm recommending is that you jump on social media, and we'll talk about contacting legislators at the end, but jump on social media, tag Creality, Soval, Prusa, Bamboo Lab. Tag all of them. Tag every 3D printer company that you know and demand that they stand up for our rights. Demand that they grab their pocketbooks, the profit that they've taken from you, and help fight this legislation. Right now, they're sitting quiet, and these have huge ramifications. They are going to lose their businesses if they don't fight and if we don't fight. So go do that. Seriously. And don't forget, tag me at Loyal Moses on X, Facebook.
So I'm going to jump ahead. This basically the intro of this is what I wanted to cover. Yeah, we went over all this. It's really scary shit. Like, and the problem is the general public doesn't understand a lot of this. Even people that have 3D printers don't really understand this. I've heard a lot of people say, like literally customers are when they ask us about, like they'll ask us, what do you recommend? And Bamboo always comes up. It's the most popular printer brand out there right now. Creality's probably the second. And then you're probably like Elegoo, Anycubic. Those are like, I'd say those are like the top 4 that you hear about. And then 5, you can throw Solval in there. But yeah, people need to start pushing back on this. If you don't push back on this shit's going to happen. I'm the type of person that if there's stuff like this that happens, would be shocked if it ever happened in Indiana. But if it did, the answer is go fuck yourself. I'm gonna live how I want to live. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's one of these things where I would be willing to go to jail over this just for standing up for what I believe in. Like it's crazy. Like this shit is insane. Let's see here. So this one is more of an overall one. I'm going to pull up Joel's video because I think we got enough of them. Let me pull up Joel's video. His is good. And like I said, I was very shocked to see him doing a video on it because I think I can't remember where he's at. I think he's in Seattle.
He's in Washington.
Yeah. And I think there was stuff for coming out of Washington as well. So, but let's pull his up and then we'll take a quick break here and then we'll go into talking about the operating system, age verification shit, more shit.
The strictest bill regulating additive manufacturing so far is in California, and they just had the judicial hearing. Of course, we are
this was 7 days ago. So this is after, this would have been after 3 days after it passed. Remember, we saw it passed on the 14th of this month.
Talking about California's AB 2047, the Firearm Printing Prevention Act.
I'm not surprised it started in Washington.
Really
I'm pretty
aggressive
sure
timeline.
Right.
By July 1st, 2027, it requires the California Department of Justice to investigate firearm blueprint detection algorithms and publish performance standards for them. It gets better. By July 1st, 2028, any business selling 3D printers in California must attest that each printer model is equipped with a certified firearm blueprint detection algorithm.
I'm just thinking from a business standpoint, I can make a lot of money if this passes selling printers that aren't cucked by California to Californians. Just saying.
And that is the technology that they talk about that would prevent the printer from printing firearm parts.
Wait, what?
By September 1st, 2028, the DOJ must publish and maintain a public list of compliant printer models. And then on March 1st, 2029, only printers on the DOJ's approved list can be sold in the great state of California. This bill makes it a crime, a misdemeanor, and
Hybrid Robot X on Twitch is asking, or hybrid robotics. It is technically possible. It's going to be a fuck ton of money to set this up, and it's going to be more cost per device to implement this. They absolutely could implement this. Absolutely. Like, it's not a question of if they can implement it. They definitely can. They absolutely can implement this. Let's see. He's got, this is Michael said, I've been building my own printers since 2014. Bought my first Creality High 2 months ago for its multi capabilities. What a huge deployment. Build your own printers. Well, building your own printers also comes with this whole slew of issues. Nothing's perfect, right? Nothing's perfect.
And there are civil penalties up to 20.
Joel's getting gray. I just noticed that. I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 10
It's all
years.
the stress from living in Washington.
I know. I mean, I'm stressed out. I lost all my hair.
Oh, yeah.
This all fell out.
$5,000 per violation for businesses that sell or transfer non-compliant 3D printers. The author of this bill is Assemblymember Rebecca Bayer Kane.
AB 2047 builds on prior legislation to address the newest firearm threat, which is 3D printed weapons. Numerous reports from the Department of Justice and nonprofits have emerged.
I bet she doesn't even know how to attach a PDF to an email.
Demonstrating the proliferation of this type of firearm. This bill does so by requiring that all 3D printers sold in California are equipped with firearm blocking features, which will prohibit the printing of dangerous gun parts. So this means if you own a 3D printer, it will not allow you to print gun parts through technology that will screen the file you have to print and then ensure that those files are not printed.
She says the printer will screen the file. And sure, that sounds simple if you just don't know how 3D printing works. But G-code is just math. It's instructions.
Yeah.
Like,
I know a lot of people watching this, or some people maybe you don't know, but literally your printer is just, it's text. Your slicer, when you put the model in, you slice it up, is taking a 3-dimensional model and generating all the coordinates. And it's just lines of text. If you open a G-code file that you've exported from your slicer and open in a text editor, this is what you get.
move left, move up, extrude. To screen that, the 3D printer would have to understand the intent of these moves. The bill is like asking a pen to stop you from writing a sentence the government doesn't want you to write.
It's a very good analogy. It's a very good analogy. I mean, also, I can go to Home Depot right now and buy parts to construct a shitty shotgun.
What about others that are supporting California's AB 2047? Surely science is guiding their views.
AB 2047 is an exciting technological solution to the dangerous problem of firearms made with household 3D printers. It's the
I've probably been on lists for years now. I wish I could show it. Oh, there it goes. Here we go. There's a delay on Streamlabs. I'm probably on that list. I don't give a shit. Oh, wait, where were we at? We're right here. Hang on. The new chick. We're right here. Sorry, I accidentally clicked.
technological solution to the dangerous problem of firearms made with household 3D printers.
For the record, there are really no guns that function more than one time that are entirely 3D printed. Now, I have not printed a firearm. I'm probably going to this year, and I'll probably do a full build video on it, and I'm going to print it on that Flash Forge printer, and I'll put it on a Rumble channel because YouTube, I cannot post stuff like this on YouTube.
YouTube
Rumble,
will be very mad at you.
yeah, YouTube would flag our account. We'd be in deep shit. But the whole thing is, we live in the US. If I wanted to print a lower piece, and I can't even I have firearms, right? I probably have one within arm's reach here, but I can't even show you that because the stream will get taken down. We had a stream where someone showed a picture of a engraved slide, and YouTube killed our stream. But on most handguns, your lowers, like some are metal, but on your Glock, it's a name everybody. I'm willing to bet every single person in this chat knows what a Glock is, right? They make handguns. Okay. The lower portion of the gun is a polymer plastic. So when people are talking about 3D printing firearms, they're talking about printing those lower portions, whether it's a pistol or a rifle. You still have metal parts like the barrel and the slide and all sorts of other linkages that are metal that you still have to purchase, right? You still have to purchase them. I have not seen a reliable gun that is printed fully. Okay. Now I have friends that have printed firearms. I have fired many 3D printed firearms, and guess what? They work just like regular firearms, but they have a bunch of metal parts on them, and the most of the print is just the lower. Okay. You might have little accessories and stuff, but you need metal parts to have a reliable one. So I can't print a gun on my printer that will last more than like 1 or 2 shots. There was that Liberator that came out years ago, and it was not accurate. It basically, after a couple shots, it cracked, right? Not something I would even want to fire myself, to be completely honest. I'd be kind of scared to shoot something like that. But I'll shoot 3D printed firearms that are built with metal components all day, every day. I've shot rifles, I've shot pistols, like they work as long as they're built right, but they're not just printed. You can't, if I printed a lower right now on my printer that's sitting to the left of me, I can't do anything with it until I get all the other parts to put into it and turn it into a fully functioning handgun. You know, it's crazy. These people have no idea how any of this shit works. And they're making laws. We have people that are completely out of touch with reality, legislating laws that are going to affect our lives. It's insane.
It's the common sense next step in California's fight against ghost guns.
Common sense.
The
California
3D
has
printed
no
crisis, gun crisis, is not far away. It's not a future problem. It's happening in California right now.
Right here.
Yeah. This is a great, man, I wish there, because I have the chat up in case I need to kick anybody out, the actual YouTube chat. There's a slight delay on the StreamYard one where I can pull it up and show you guys at the bottom here. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're criminals that are going and doing stupid shit. They're not really printing guns because that does still take skill and time and effort. And they're just going to go buy some shitty gun, go do their crime, whether it's printed or not. It's not going to stop it. Like it's why like these gun control laws don't work to begin with, because guess what? A criminal is not going to follow the laws. That's why they're a criminal.
Right here is where they are manufacturing fear and lies and just trying to scare people. There's no crisis in California. And if a 3D printer is a firearms factory, then a sewing machine is a sweatshop. They are trying to assert that a 3D printer isn't just a general purpose tool, but an evil firearm making device.
To be clear, there's so much positive creativity and innovation happening as 3D printing becomes more accessible and affordable, and this bill won't stifle or threaten any of that.
Yes, it will. This would kill educational resources and stop it dead in its tracks, because this technology is just not possible.
Technology now exists to block the printing of files that have been specifically identified as firearm design instructional files.
You can't fingerprint a 3D file like you could, say, a song. If you change one line of code or one coordinate in the file, it becomes a new thing, and that filter just fails. You're asking.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, you can modify one little thing, but you can approximately get a pretty detailed representation of what the print is going to be by looking at the G code. If you guys have ever loaded a G code file into your slicer, it gives you a preview layer by layer and you can see what it is. So I disagree with him on that. It's not possible. It definitely is. And especially with all the AI stuff, you can run that file through and see what it is. I was just thinking like I definitely have some lower STLs sitting on my computer somewhere. I'm wondering if I sliced one up and uploaded it to like just a general AI like Gemini or stuff, if I uploaded the G code file, if it could analyze it and tell me what it is and like not make the file name anything that would give away what it is. I'll try that. I think, do you guys want me to try that and see? Because like if a general purpose AI can derive what the object is by me sending it a G code file, they definitely have stuff that is already available that could do that or more. You know what I mean?
Asking a 3D printer to analyze in real time geometry and intent, and it just can't do that.
They're not going to have the 3D printers, and I think he's missing the point here. They're not going to have the 3D printer itself do it. They're going to have the 3D printer make a request to a server on the internet, send your G code file over, or maybe they'll even do it at the slicer, where the slicer will check before you even slice it and send your STL file, your 3MF, or whatever model file you're working with. and send that out and be like, okay, I can slice this. They could do it at the slicer level. They could do it at the printer level. They can absolutely implement this. I disagree with him on it's not possible. It is 100% possible. Is it going to be a shit ton of work and cost? Absolutely. But they can absolutely do this.
You're asking for magic. You're promising a magic filter, which just doesn't exist. Well, let's hear from the chairman on this. Perhaps he's got a voice of reason for all of us.
It's already against the law to use 3D printers to print firearms. There's got to be some meaningful way to actually enforce that law. And by the way, the law has been on the books for over 2 years and hasn't been overturned yet under Second Amendment grounds. In regards to the privacy concerns, I think if there's a substantial public interest, it does allow for limited, legally justified restrictions on privacy rights. I do think there is a substantial public interest, and this is clearly going to be challenged in the courts, and we'll let the courts decide whether we're right or not on that.
Okay. As he said, there's laws that already exist. So this new bill would just make something that's already illegal. It would be illegaler. And privacy rights, he mentions this is going to be a legal gamble. They are willing to pass this broken law and then let the taxpayers pay to battle it out in court.
Yep.
And
More
meanwhile, the maker community is just left in limbo. If all of this sounds really familiar, it could be that you've run across some sort of post or article from Everytown. They've been at the beginning of this, and they show up in mass at these hearings. And
yeah, the other thing here, I was going to mention this, but Hybrid Robotics brought this up. There will be false positives. The AI stuff is not perfect. It will make false positives. There have already been people getting arrested because of wrong AI leads. Like literally there was a video of this lady that the AI flagged her for some reason. It was like with all those flock cameras and shit. If you guys heard about those, if you haven't, look up flock cameras. They're a huge privacy invasion. And yeah, she was arrested right in front of all her kids in like, I think it was like a Walmart parking lot or something. I use AI for shit. This is not what we should use AI for. AI is pretty dumb still. It's a great tool, but for this, it's going to be tons of false positives.
that's kind of where this got started. But let's talk about good things like David Tobin, executive producer of 3D Printing Nerd, the executive director of the Community Manufacturing Initiative, David Tobin. He was at the Capitol and sat down during this hearing and spoke in opposition as a technical witness.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is David Tobin. I'm a longtime California resident, and I'm the current executive director of the Community Manufacturing Initiative. CMI is a core partner in Experiential, a global innovation network alongside DECA, WPI, Cornell University, MIT, the National Science Foundation, First Robotics, and many, many more. In addition, I'm also the executive producer of the educational show 3D Printing Nerd, where I've spent the last 6 years traveling the planet working with every single company in this industry. Today, I'm here representing the $10.5 billion already invested in education and infrastructure in the state of California. We're here to address the 12 technical impossibilities and 12 First Amendment violations that make AB 2047 a fundamental failure. In my hands are the physical targets of this bill. This is the XRP robotics kit used by students across the globe. And over here, we have a 3D printed eyeball from the Mayo Clinic.
Look what David's holding. He's holding one of these, an XRP robotics kit and a 3D printed eyeball from the Mayo Clinic. And an algorithm really doesn't know intent. It doesn't know the difference between this and a firearm part. By mandating software that doesn't exist, you're creating an accidental ban on innovation.
The AB 2047 mandates blocking software that defies the laws of physics. 3D printers read G code, numerical coordinates, not shapes. It's a mathematical impossibility for these machines to detect intent. By mandating software gatekeeper that does not exist, you're decommissioning the tools by our schools and over 30,000 California businesses overnight. As a Californian, I'm deeply concerned that this bill creates a constitutional minefield for our state. Following the Ninth Circuit precedent of Bernstein versus Department of Justice, code is protected speech. This bill establishes prior restraints and content-based restrictions that will trigger immediate multi-front litigation. You're asking manufacturers to perform a technical miracle under the threat of absolute liability. This is not regulation. It's an accidental ban on California's innovation economy. Don't break the tools of the next generation of our California engineers because of a misunderstanding of the technology. We urge the committee to hold this bill. I provided a full analysis of these 24 specific failures in the packets that you have, and I'm available for your questions.
Heck yeah. David is hitting the core issue. Coordinates versus shapes. Manufacturers are being asked to perform a technical miracle while under the threat of absolute liability. We don't have this technology, and forcing companies to invent this under the threat of a $25,000 fine, that's madness. David wasn't the only one there to support the opposition of this bill. Cliff Braun was there from the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the EFF. We also had people from our community, the maker community there.
Ann Pauley, Oakland-based mechanical engineer, 3D printing expert with a decade of experience in Silicon Valley manufacturing, strongly opposing for technical impossibility and IP security breach risk.
Steve Peterson, part of the Voron design team in the wider open source 3D printer community, and strongly opposed.
Morning, my name is Nico Mendoza. I'm the CEO of Nico Industries, former Air Force veteran, also Air Force civil engineer. I strongly oppose it. Maybe we should rework the bill.
The vote was 9-3 in favor of passing it out of this hearing. So the no votes, Alexandra Macedo, Diane Dixon, and Kate Sanchez were the three opposing votes, while the remaining assembly members, they voted for it. The author of this bill is Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer-Kahn.
Hey, everybody, I need to find out who authors ridiculous bill. Here you go.
But let's talk about the First Amendment here in the United States. It's been proven legally that source code is free speech. By requiring a government-approved filter on your software, that's what's known as prior restraint. If they can force a filter on your 3D printer today, what's to say they can't force a filter on other aspects of your life or other tools that you use? That. This bill has real consequences. Misunderstanding the technology leads to massive, massive issues for education. The impact on California will be massive. Over 1.5 million kids every day use 3D printing to further their education. And if this bill passes, that just gets decimated. The supporters of this bill really remind me of Walter Peck in the Ghostbusters film. He didn't understand the science. He was just thinking what he was doing was going to make the city safer.
You're facing a federal prosecution for at least 6 environmental violations.
So he shut down the containment system, which, as you know, spoiler alert, it invited a bunch of ghosts into the city. These people in support of the bill, they have safety in mind. They think they're making things safer, but they're just inviting a disaster for the education system. The science of it is simple. 3D printing is additive manufacturing. It is a process of physical geometry built through mathematical instructions. You cannot regulate intent in a text file. Okay, the vote was 9-3 for AB 2047. It made it out of this hearing. What are the next steps? It looks like, so after passing the Judiciary Committee, the bill now heads to the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Since the bill creates new state agency requirements, like the Department of Justice certifying algorithms and maintaining lists, it has significant fiscal impacts. The committee will analyze the costs and decide if that then moves forward. And this is where magic software meets budget reality. So between now and then, I invite you to reach out to the author of this bill, Rebecca Bauer-Kahn. Let her know that the financial and educational costs of this is just too high. And of course, we'll keep you posted as this.
Oh, here we go. I will post this link in the chat. There we go. Let's see, is that... Let's go to that link. Yep, that's hers.
Moves to its next stage. I want to leave you with this. Education is how we win. The bills like this get this far because of a vacuum of knowledge. And it is our job to fill that vacuum with facts. Knowledge isn't enough. Shouting facts at a camera isn't enough. Showing up is how we do this. David, Ann, Steve, Nico, they all showed up. Now you should too. Be professional, be technical, but let your passion fly. Tell them about the students and education and how this bill will set us back. I know that was a lot. But we got through this. It's just important to remember that knowledge is power and showing up is key. And there's lots of resources in the description to hopefully get you started. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Don't forget to hug each other more. Fight for cause you believe in. Print all the things. And as always, high five.
No, we got a new follower. I think that's on Twitch. All right. So let's see here. I just want to see what the comments here. How this bill actually play out? Cannot ship to California. I don't think they do that. I mean, it's funny. I have my riding mower I have literally has a sticker on it that says it's not allowed to be sold in California, you know, because it has a gas engine. Yeah, you can tell the people writing the laws have no clue how 3D printers work. So we'll heavily regulate 3D printing, not AI. Really shows how absolutely screwed our government is. Print a water gun for your kids, 10 minutes, swats at your door. People who don't know anything about tech should not be allowed to enforce the laws stifling innovation. Absolutely. But that's all of our government on both sides, left and right, or independents. They have no fucking clue how technology works. Half of them can't even figure out how to put an email attachment on a goddamn message. And they're making laws that are affecting technology and all this shit. We're going to take a break here in a second. Krista, does he need to eat or is he good? So I actually made a couple of songs. If you guys have not been subjected to my AI music, I'll tell you it's okay.
It's good. It's pretty good.
But I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna pull us out of here. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Maybe grab some more. My water's empty. I need to get more water. But yeah, like my first offense printing a bench sheet. What are you in for? Layer lines. Yeah, I don't think you get much cred. I don't think you get much cred in jail for that. I'm just saying. Yeah, the big thing here, the invasion of privacy, is a huge invasion of privacy. Like, the only way they're going to be able to tell what you're printing is if it's getting sent somewhere else, because the cost to implement it on device is too high. There's no way they're going to do it on device. Like maybe on very expensive machines, but on consumer machines, good luck. You're talking probably over at least $700-800 minimum to have something that would do it in an okay amount of time. Yeah. Here, this is illegal equipment requiring cell phone manufacturers to put algorithms on their phone that will delete speech that the government disapproves of. Yeah. Here, this is essentially seizing the means of production from the little guy, or at least seriously restricting it. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, this is like asking an 80-year-old judge to understand IP address and routing. Let's see. The foreign community right now, I'm 2 steps ahead. I'm always 2 steps ahead. They're not wrong. Thanks for the sub, Backyard Engineering. Yeah. Here, how to make a ghost gun. Get a gun, get a Dremel, grind the serial number. All that ghost gun means is you have a gun that they don't have tracking on because there's no serial number.
Welcome in, Tor.
Let's see. $5 to $6 right now. What is he talking about? Oh, yeah, he's in California. Yeah, your state's doing stupid shit again. I'm sure you're shocked. All right. I'm gonna pull this down. I'm gonna get prepped for the next one. We're gonna be talking about I got two videos from the Lunduke Journal. If you guys haven't checked him out, he covers technology stuff and his videos are pretty good. There's a federal law, and I'm pulling up, there's other states, but just to keep it so we're not going too long because we've been fucked. We've been talking about this for an hour already. There's one in Illinois, and I'm originally from Illinois. I personally left Illinois to get away from all their bullshit. Their shitty laws, the fact that I can't protect my own family if somebody breaks in, especially now that I have 2 young children. Like, and then the taxes and all the other fees and all the other shit. I left Illinois, but I have family members in Illinois still. I have a lot of family and friends in Illinois that are still stuck in that hellhole. So I'm gonna pull that up. Yeah, and then we're gonna go to that. So we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go use the restroom, get some more water, and then we'll be back. So enjoy my AI music because I'm not a musician. So I use AI to make music. Use AI to make music, not restrict people's rights. Okay. I'll be back.
System override. Access granted. System override. Access granted. They built a cage and they call it a home. Clip the wings of every drone. Proprietary nozzles of plastic lock. Waiting for the cloud to stop the clock. Subscription fees for a tool you bought. Is this the future that we saw? They own the bits, they own the bay, but we are taking it back today. You can lock the doors and paint the walls, but you can't stop the code that's free for all. We claim the keys, we break the chain, bring in the power to the users again. Root access found, the spirit is high. We own the hardware until we die. Walled gardens where the flowers are fake, taking every bite that they can take. Cloud dependencies a leash on the mind, leaving the independent makers behind. But unified to firmware is the signal we send. The reign of the lockout is coming to an end. Flash the chip, let the logic flow. Watching the open source fire grow. You can lock the doors and paint the walls, but you can't stop the code that's free for all. We claim the keys, we break the chain, bring in the power to the users again. Root access found, the spirit is high. We own the hardware until we die. If you can't fix it, you don't own it. If you can't see the code, then just loan it. Rip off the sticker, avoid the warranty. This is the path to digital liberty. Right to repair, right to remain free from the Silicon Masters reign. You can lock the doors and paint the walls, but you can't stop the code that's free for all. We claim the keys, we break the chain, bring in the power to the users again. Root access found, the spirit is high. We own the hardware until we die. Unified 2, the power is yours. Open source forever. Unlock the is leveled and the nozzle's getting hot. We're building everything the system says we're not. You're sitting in your office with a gavel and a tie, selling us a safety built on every single lie. You claim it's for the children while you tighten up the leash, but code is just a language and the code is not free speech. You're terrified of plastic and the things that we can make, while you tremble at a keyboard for your own ego's sake. You can't stop the signal, you can't stop the flow. We're printing out the freedom that you'll never even know. A bunch of suits in DC trying to regulate the line, when you can't open a PDF or read a simple sign. Yeah, you call for tech support just to find the power cord, then you try to rule a world where the people aren't bored. Keep your hands off our files, keep your laws off the gear. The future's decentralized and we don't feel the fear. Outdated and outclassed, you're a relic of the past, trying to ban a workflow that was built to always last. Common sense restrictions from a mind that's stuck in gear before the internet existed back in some forgotten year. You fumble with the mouse and you struggle with the cloud, but you wanna tell the makers what we're never allowed. Go back to your rotor and your paper pushing ways, while we're light years ahead of your bureaucratic haze. You can't stop the signal, you can't stop the flow. We're printing out the freedom that you'll never even know. A bunch of suits in DC trying to regulate the line, when you can't open a PDF or read a simple sign. Yeah, you call for tech support just to find the power cord, then you try to rule a world where the people aren't bored. Keep your hands off our files, keep your laws off the gear. The future's decentralized and we don't feel the fear. One layer at a time, we're taking back the power, while you're counting up the taxes in your ivory tower. You can't seize a thought, you can't lock down the web. The tide is coming in and your control is at an ebb. G-code is the anthem and the motor is the drum. The revolution's quiet but it's starting to
All right, we are back. Chris is getting her headset put back on. Yeah, I had those. I made those a while ago. I made a post, like we had a month-long interruption with her being in the hospital with little Charlie, but they're both fine. It was just stressful. This kind of music, that's kind of what this music reminds me of, early Saturday morning 90s cartoon rock. Yeah, I told it to make, I use Suno AI to do all that stuff. I've got a bunch of different ones. They're actually, if you guys want to see they're on YouTube. They're not on the TH3D channel, but they're on my personal channel. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on here. If you guys like video games, specifically like Star Citizen, I have some Star Citizen music on we have a little gaming group called Grumpy Dogs Gaming, and that's on that channel. I gotta really stream our games here.
Yeah.
Chris and I play.
You should read your Telegram.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I was actually thinking, because appreciate everybody stopping in. I was thinking about doing, because I really like that's our pastime. We've been on Star Citizen for almost 2 years now, and we have tons of friends that play. It's a lot of fun. You do need a good computer to play it. But I was thinking about doing a giveaway because they have a really good package. Like I'm gonna buy it and then I would gift it to you. So I was thinking about doing a giveaway where I was gonna do the new Aurora Mark II package. So in this game, it's cool. It is a alpha. It can be buggy. I'm just going to tell you that. So if you're somebody that doesn't like to deal with bugs, but dear God, this is a fucking cool game. But it's a nice little starter pack. So I was going to buy that. I actually bought one earlier today, so I had it.
I have a gift package too. Remember, you bought me, I think, like another one.
No, it's fine. They're still in the store. But basically, you can play the game. And there's no monthly fee or anything. So if you guys would think that'd be cool, I'll do a giveaway of a starter pack, and then I'll give you our handles. If you guys want to play with us, we can show you how to play. It's cool. Really fucking cool game. If you guys like open world space RPGs, it is crazy. But yeah. So anyways, let's go into the next thing, which is the operating system age verification. Because think of the children. Think of the children. That's always the excuse, right? My response to that whole thing is be a fucking good parent and pay attention to what the hell your kids are doing. It is nobody's responsibility but your own to raise your own fucking kids.
I am not surprised that says Illinois.
Yeah, this came out. I sent this to my mom. This came out 3 days ago. So Illinois House Bill 5511, which require all operating systems. That means Linux, Mac, Windows, all of them require age verification. And here's the other thing I don't think these people are realizing. Do you guys know what your 3D printers are running these days? They're running Linux. They're running Linux. So let's go over this. If you guys haven't checked out the Lunduke Journal and you want more like techie stuff, he covers more tech stuff. He was very involved in the open source movement, and he got ousted because he's kind of conservative in some of his views. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, I know some people it's not, but it does help to know what's going on. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull his video
Illinois House Bill 5511, which would require all operating systems, Linux, Windows, Android, FreeDOS, Haiku, FreeBSD, whatever, to include full age verification, not age attestation, but like full age identity verification.
So what that means is attestation just means, hey, what's your birthday? And you put it in, right? I'm sure we've all at some point lied about our age because, we wanted to get something we probably shouldn't have been getting, or, a video game or whatever. Like there's this full verification to use your fucking computer. Think about this. And I see people like open source. You guys have the source code. They're going to make it illegal if you circumvent that shit. Just like they're doing with the 3D printer stuff we just talked about. So
it is moving closer to becoming law. It has passed the Illinois State House and is moving on to the Senate.
I want to bet
it is waiting to be
every single one of you guys
by a Senate committee
watching
right now. That'll probably happen later. It'll probably happen later this month. Let me just read what I posted over on X because it's a pretty good summary. So the vote is moving to the Senate. The vote was 82 to 27 in favor of the law. So House Bill 5511 is sponsored entirely by a group of 11 Democrat representatives, no Republicans, and was voted for by every Democrat.
So here, this law was pitched specifically as children's social media bill, but was heavily focused on all internet connected operating systems.
Democrat in the Illinois House, as well as a small number of Republicans. All 27 of the lawmakers who voted nay, get this out of here, of this bill were Republicans. But there were a few Republicans that did vote for it, though it didn't matter because the Illinois House is controlled entirely by Democrats. So the Democrats can pass it if every Republican votes against it. It was irrelevant what the Republicans thought. Now, this law is a weird one. This is a really weird one. It's not just a simple, like the new national law, the federal law that was submitted is real bland. And
which I have that right here. We'll jump through this. This one's a little shorter, but it's way more egregious in terms of violating people's privacy and using your devices.
And non-specific and short. It's just like there's got to be age verification, but we'll figure out how to do it later. It's like 90% of the law. Or the Colorado law, again, is real simple. It's just there's got to be some like age attestation stuff in there, and that's how that'll work. This Illinois law has weird exemptions and weird other stuff. Like it's a sprawling mess of strangeness. The law was originally pitched as the Children's Social Media Bill, right? Let me see if I can bring this up here. The Children's Social Media Safety Act, right? That's what they put it in place. And
every time without fail, think of the children. I'm so sick of it.
The whole idea was to keep kids safe on social media sites. That's the origin of it. But what's peculiar to me about that is the law doesn't really focus in on saying, okay, well then kids can't be on Facebook. Right? Or you have to prove that you're an adult to be on X or YouTube or something, right? It doesn't do any of that. It goes down to the operating system level, right? And actually says that operating systems have to include age verification. The whole children's social media thing seems to be a smokescreen, or just the people who wrote it are just really confused. And the law includes an out, a paid out. So if you don't like the law and you don't want to have to adhere to the law as like a family, you can just pay money. This isn't a joke. So one unique part of this law, when compared to other operating system age verification laws, is that it provides an exemption to some of the age requirements if the operating system provides a paid family account platform. That's what they call it, family account platform. So here's the idea. And this is a real...
Why does it have to be paid? That makes it so weird.
Part of the law. Let me see. Do I have a screenshot of this up here? Here it is. The family account platform, right? So this is a real part of the law. It's truly, truly bizarre. So the idea is this. You as a parent or a head of household could create an umbrella account, a family account platform account, which would then treat all sub-members of that account, such as your kids, right? And so if you have a little kid, you could put them under that account, as having the same age as the parent who created the account. So for example, it's ludicrous. For example, the operating system, let's say, Windows implements this. Let's say if I have a Windows machine set up and I'm a 47-year-old man and I go in and create a family account platform account, and I have to pay to do it. And then I put my 7-year-old on that account. The operating system would then report that the 7-year-old is really 47 or 37 or whatever the parent's age is to any application or any website that asks. Because the whole idea here is that
makes no sense and completely defeats the whole point of what this bill is trying to do, even though it's absolutely fucking stupid. Why even have this in here? Oh wait, I'm willing to bet Illinois will get a kickback from all those payments. That's what I'd predict.
The operating system does the age verification, and then every application, every website, every online service then queries the operating system and says, hey, the current user, how old are they really? And then they act accordingly. They say, well, you have to be older in order to access these adult-only features. But if you have a family account platform account, your kids are suddenly middle-aged men. Right? Your 5-year-old is suddenly a 40-year-old. It's very bizarre. And again, this is only allowed when the family
Yeah, that's a
account
good point,
platform
Barton.
is a paid feature. It cannot legally be free. Let me see if I've got a screenshot of this here. Family account platform means a platform that offers sub accounts or profiles within that platform and requires a paid subscription
Or
with
account
a
creation with
payment method verification as the platform's primary business model. So you you literally have to charge for it. Weird. Is that
Unless they want a payment method on hand, so if there's a violation, they can charge you.
not strange? It's not me saying, oh, okay, you know what, I'm creating an account for my kid, but let them have access to Google and Wikipedia and YouTube and things like that. It's not just me creating a whitelist. It's literally me creating a paid account that then lets my kids pretend to be a middle-aged man on the internet.
At that point, then there's no point of having age verification if the kids' accounts are just going to show up as the adult. Like, again, if you have kids, watch your fucking kids. If you don't want them seeing certain things on the internet, put a filter on their computer, put access controls on it. There's tons of software that can do it fairly easily.
How is this protecting children? And how it just seems, it feels like a strange business racket to me. This is very peculiar. It's truly a weird law. But this bill is waiting to be picked up by a Senate committee, and this is not likely to happen before April 28th, so about 8 days from the moment I'm recording this, because that is when the Illinois Senate comes back in session. So they're currently out. Here's the list of all the sponsors of this bill. It's a whole lot of D's right there. There's no R's. It's all Democrats that sponsored the bill. But again, it's going to pass because this is absolutely controlled in Illinois, in the state House and Senate and governorship. It's controlled by the Democrats. So if it's a partisan bill, which this is, it's going to pass. It just is. That's how this sort of thing works in Illinois. Now,
yeah, here. So this right here, this is a fairly recent video from 3 days ago. So I did hear about Brazil. So Brazil and California both passed OS level age verification laws already. And then thanks for the sub. Then we've got US federal, which I have the video up for that. Colorado, Illinois, and New York, and then Michigan. It seems like they pulled it.
What's fascinating here is we've got the federal law, because we've got multiple laws going on right now. The only ones currently enacted are Brazil and California, right? The California law is the age attestation law, which all operating systems have to comply with that, and they have until this coming January. It's now April. They have the remainder of this calendar year, and then they have to comply with that one if they want to continue doing any business whatsoever in the state of California. Otherwise, they have some pretty hefty fines. But we've got a lot of laws that are sitting out there proposed. Colorado, Illinois, and New York being the most significant state laws that are focused on operating system level age verification. And I should point out, there are a ton of age verification laws going on right now. But these are just the ones that go operating system level. That's what I'm kind of focusing on here at the moment, because in my opinion, those are the most heinous. We can argue for a long time about the problems, and there's so many problems of having online service age verification problems. Not least of which is the fact that you put personally identifiable information in mass into any online database, and that just becomes a target for hackers and narratives.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Didn't even think about that. How many data breaches have you guys seen in the last like 10 years where companies have leaked your social security number and a bunch of other shit because they didn't secure their databases and they didn't secure their networks?
Do wells, and that's just it's going to get breached, and that information is going to get out there, and then everyone is a whole lot less safe. But putting all that aside, having the age verification at the operating system level is not only absolutely absurd, it is potentially even more harmful than being at the app store level or at the website level, which is already a difficult problem. But at the operating system level, we also have the new federal law, which is really at the beginning of its life cycle. We're not likely to see that law come up to a vote for at least probably a few months, because it's
Yeah, like this stuff is crazy. I'm trying to see if he yeah, so here I want to see him going through so there's a list of like who's said we're not fucking doing it.
verification status. And I'm kind of keeping tabs as we go on this. There's a lot of Linux distributions, FreeBSD systems, and even Graphene OS, Android, an
ReDOS.
Android fork.
That's crazy. That's a pretty big open source project. Interesting.
And FreeDOS, because why not, are saying we will not be complying with age verification status at this point in time. Now, obviously, things could change, and even some of these developers have stated, if they get forced into it, what are they going to do? But as the laws currently stand, and as things are looking, these systems are saying, no, we're not going to even begin implementing age verification in our systems. Omarchy Linux, Devuan, and Slackware, and Zorin, and Vendaful, and Graphene, and Artix, and Void Linux, Ghost BSD, and a bunch of others. They're all saying absolutely not. There are systems out there that appear to be planning or weighing their options, where it seems like they're leaning towards getting this implemented, age verification being implemented, but they haven't done so yet. Ubuntu, Pop! OS, Elementary, Fedora, and Debian. Fedora seems, of those groups, the furthest along. They've toyed around with the idea of implementing a full version of what Apple is doing and actually implementing Apple's age verification API into Fedora Linux. That's what they're currently toying with. And of course, the only open source operating system at this point that's implemented any semblance of age verification, and it's just a part of it, is Midnight BSD. None of the other systems at this point have actually implemented it. So you're kind of safe at the moment. But
it's crazy. I'm just curious to see what you guys think about this right now. I'm gonna skip around through this one here. Because this is kind of where he gets into the meat and potatoes of what's going on. Like he said in the other video, it's basically the federal one is basically, hey, we want age verification. It's just kind of opening the gates. It's so stupid. Again, people who have no idea how to use technology making laws that regulate technology.
Content controls from the start, including limiting access to social media, apps, and AI platforms. Ensure that age and parental settings are securely flowed to apps and AI platforms so content is tailored appropriately for children, and prevent children from accessing harmful or explicit content, including inappropriate AI chatbot interactions, by creating a consistent, trusted standard across platforms. Okay, so that's the list of everything that the Parents Decide Act was supposed to do. Whether or not all of that actually made it into HR 8250, we will find out in the days ahead. But we know that that first one, that really heinous one of requiring operating systems to do age verification, is the core part of H250. And that is deeply, deeply troubling. So that's out there, and that's law. And what's really crazy about this is several things. First, this moves things from the state level up to the national level. Now, we just heard just a couple days ago that Michigan had a similar age verification law that they have since withdrawn. But that's irrelevant functionally irrelevant.
He's I think this might be the end of this, but this stuff is insane. Like, that this is even happening. Like,
a dystopian world.
Yeah, and the problem is that, like, people are not pushing back against this. I doubt many people. How many of you guys knew about the 3D printing restrictions that these states are trying to push, and about the fact that OS level age verification is being pushed right now? Like, I'm just curious to know how many people were actually aware that this was a thing going on right now. I'm willing to bet some people. I got, I think, 18 people watching right now. We had 30 at one point, but I think people dropped off once we got off the 3D printer topic. But it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. I'm just looking at chat right now. I'm talking to you guys. The listening time is over. It's time for you guys to participate in the chat.
How's everyone's Friday?
Well, technically, it's Saturday.
Now it's Saturday.
It's technically Saturday for us right now. Technically. People are very quiet. Well, if nobody's got anything to say, I'm gonna wrap this up because I was gonna go restart prints for a print job, but I see there's multiple machines still running right now. So I'll probably just run out there in the morning and restart them. We got a huge print job. That's why we scaled up with more printers. Like I'm talking like I had to buy a pallet of filament to get this print job going big. So let's see. I'm just looking at chat here. Yeah, they always use the children as an excuse. Again, like I don't even before I had kids, I never understood why the government needs to be making laws about things that parents should be doing if they're good fucking parents. Like it's not other people's responsibility to parent your kids. Like it's not. I don't get it. Like you don't want your kids seeing certain things online, then watch what they're doing. Put parental controls on the computer. Put the computer in an area of the house that is open so they can't be doing sketchy shit. Like
Or just don't let them be on the computer if they're gonna be a degen.
yeah, and then Illinois, yeah, like the whole thing, and then give a paid way around it. It defeats the whole point, and it's just comes off, which I'm not surprised. Illinois is all about, fees and taking shit from people, and charging you more and more.
They love charging everyone.
They do.
Out of the
It's
ass.
insane. It's fucking insane. I'm gonna do this. So if anybody's watching on Twitch, I'm gonna do. You know what? Maybe I'm trying to see how I can do a multi-enter thing because my chat bot only supports YouTube, unfortunately. So, and I was gonna do a giveaway for one of the games that we like playing because that's what we do when we're not dealing with the children's or working. I was gonna be giving away one of the new starter packs they just came out with. If you guys if you're familiar with it, it's an open world space RPG, and I'd be glad to have another person. We'd both be glad to have another person to show the ropes. So I was gonna pick this up, and you would just make an account, and I would gift it to you. So it includes a little armor set, includes the new ship that they just came out with, and this is all you need to play the game. You don't need to put any more money into it. This is it. So it's a nice little starter package. You do need a fairly beefy computer to run it. And
show the PC requirements.
Yeah, so you do need at least, I mean, I guess this isn't crazy. But you do need at least 16 gigs of RAM. 32 is recommended.
Kudos if you use my referral code too when you sign
Yeah,
up.
Krista has a referral code if you want to plug your. I'm just literally going to buy this
because
I can literally
you get extra
go.
space dollars, okay?
Yeah, so basically I have this purchase here. So if you guys make an account, I can hit this. I can put your name and email, and then you'll get this package. So I bought this yesterday. And the nice thing about this package is it has what's called lifetime insurance, and it doesn't do anything right now because the game's in alpha. But it's a nice package. So if you guys want to check it out, I'm gonna do. If you guys want to enter this, switch over to our YouTube channel, and just so you can enter it, I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna get the giveaway set up. I think I gotta do that through the cloud bot. Yeah, I gotta do it through cloud bot. Yeah, it's cool, and it's and the game it can be buggy sometimes. It is an alpha. It's been an alpha for 12 years plus. It's a very ambitious. It's self-published. It's really cool. I just really enjoy the game. Krista enjoys the game too. Like we even have like you can't really. I might be able to move the one. but like we even have like flight sticks and stuff that we use with it. You can play with a keyboard and mouse, but it's just cool flying a ship with flight sticks. But you can do first person combat, you can do cargo, you can do crafting. They just added crafting for armor and guns. Eventually there's going to be base building and there's a bunch of stuff, but it's cool. It's our like game we come back to. So let me do giveaway here.
I'm gonna enter the giveaway.
No, you cannot enter the giveaway. All right. Timer is this value in minutes. We'll do it for 5 minutes here. I'll put it here. Prize. I'm going to put a Star Citizen Aurora Mark II starter pack. And that's all you need. There's no monthly fee to play the game. I have guys that we play with that have been playing for, God, like 5 to 10 years. And like all they bought was the game. Some like if you like the game, you can give them more money. You don't have to.
We've also met people who spent 40 grand on the game.
I don't think it was that much.
Yeah, Blackout did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He got
It's cool.
money.
It's one of these games where you can get the ships in game, but to raise money, they sell the ships. And some people don't like that. I don't care. It's great.
Don't forget to use my code.
All right. So, anyways, the entire Interpro has to be rewritten to support this. Anyways, I'm going to start the giveaway here. So I think it'll tell you guys what to do.
Yes, 40K. You read that, or you heard that correctly.
Okay, so you got to use ! giveaway to enter. And so if you do win, you can register an account and then you can shoot me your email that you used to make the account to streams@th3dstudio.com and just like send me like a screenshot. Hang on, I'm typing.
Look at our potato. He is tired.
He is. Yeah, so you can send the email to streams@th3dstudio.com so you're not posting your email publicly. Unless you don't give a shit, then by all means.
Oh, and if you have Discord, that's a plus. We'll send you a link to our Discord.
Yeah,
so we can teach you how to play.
It's definitely a game you need somebody who's played the game to kind of hold your hand. Usually when we start off, we have somebody jump in. We'll have them, we'll show them the basics of how to take off, and it's cool because like there's ships, there's first-person shooter combat. It's just fun. So. But all right, we got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Do I have another AI song? Because
You should. You have plenty. Play one of your Star Citizen ones.
No, they won't get the references. Does anybody here play? I know I saw Tor. He plays. I don't know if he's played in a while.
Tor probably hasn't played in years.
He probably hasn't played in at least a year. Because I think he said he played with our buddy Mike, who got us into it like once. So, all right, I'm going to play this. It took me 10 minutes to figure out why I couldn't eat. Found out my helmet was on. Yeah, you got to take your helmet off to eat. You should add us, Jason. My username's House of Bugs on there, and hers is Krista KAE. So KRYSTA KAE. We play at least. I mean, even with the kid because he sleeps a lot, and Olivia's asleep. We're usually on the computer around like 8 to 9, and we sign off around midnight, at least a couple times a week. So. All right, I'm going to play this while we're waiting for the timer to run out on the giveaway. So enter the giveaway and enjoy my AI music. It's actually not bad.
Is it Big Booty G-Code?
No, it's Film and Flex.
Yeah. Check the inventory. We talking kilograms on kilograms. You ready? Let's print. I walk in the lab and the view is insane. A technicolor dream driving through my brain. It's a rainbow all stacked floor to the sky. If you're looking for a shade, I'm the main supply. Got the ruby red cobalt and the forest green. The cleanest collection that you've ever seen. 1.75, that's the magic number. I'm buying more spools while the neighbors slumber. I got that filament flex, check the wall of fame. Every shade of the spectrum, you know the name. From the floor to the rafters, spools in a row. If it's wound on a plastic ring, it's gotta go. Yeah, it's a heavyweight low, call it plastic gold. More rolls in the house than the shelves can hold. Now let's talk texture, let's talk the shine. That silk play eyes looking mighty fine. It's looking like metal, it's looking like chrome. I'm running out of space in my own home. Then I move to the TPU, watch it bend. It's flexible, durable, my rubbery friend. I got wood feel, marble and the glow in the dark. My workspace is looking like a theme park. But here comes the struggle, the battle with the air. Too much humidity is a total nightmare. I got dry boxes tucked underneath the bed. Where are we gonna eat is what my roommate said. The kitchen table's full of vacuum sealed bags. Dehydrators running till the power grid lags. I need a warehouse, maybe 2 or 3, just to store the PLG comfortably. I got that filament flex, check the wall of fame. Every shade of the spectrum, you know the name. From the floor to the rafters, spools in a row. If it's wound on a plastic ring, it's gotta go. Yeah, it's a heavyweight low, call it plastic gold. More rolls in the house than the shelves can hold. I see a sale online and my fingers start twitching. Forget about the groceries, forget about the kitchen. Need the burnt titanium, I need the galaxy blue. If the box arrives today, I'll find a spot for it too. Stack them by the door, stack them by the sink. I'm the king of the extruders, what did you think? My nozzle's never empty, my bed is always level. I'm a high speed, high temp filament devil. Yeah, just one more roll, I promise. The rainbow wall stays tall. Sound of a 3D printer finishing a print. Beep, 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 beep. Keep it dry, y'all. Peace.
Wow, perfect timing. We got 5 seconds left in the giveaway. 5 seconds left.
That was good.
That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna pick. We only got 5 people. We got our Rittenhouse, Mike EV6865, Stephen Poole, the Bomberski, and Matt's Makerspace. All right, I'm gonna pick the winner. You guys ready? And I literally just click a button here. I will share, just so you guys know it's not rigged. Here's my Streamlabs dashboard. So this is all I can do. Is I can just hit pick winner. Okay, ready? What?
No.
What?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right, you guys ready? Let's see who won. Matt.
Dang, man.
Matt, you got me on Discord and stuff. Send me your email, but you got to make an account first.
Yes.
Oh, I have a feeling he's probably going to like it. And just so Krista gets the...
I'm linking it. I'm plugging it. Plugging it right now.
I don't think, because I'm gifting it, I don't think you'll get anything because I'm technically the one who bought the pack. But if you can try using her link. This is her link. And then send me the email that you use for that account and I will gift that to you and then you can play the game. It is a big game. I'm just curious to see how.
Join our Discord and we can walk you through everything.
Yeah, let me see here. It's a big game. I think he's probably got a decent computer. Let me see. How big is it? It's 140 gigs. So,
She hefty.
yeah, I know one guy we play with that literally is in the middle of nowhere and he's got like a 6 megabit internet connection. And he will turn his computer on before he goes to work if there's an update, just so it can run while he's gone. Yeah, Matt, you got me. I think you got me on Facebook. Facebook and probably also Discord. Yeah. And then Krista did put a link to our Discord. So if you guys want to join, this is not the TH3D Discord. If you guys play PC games, join our little gaming group. It's called Grumpy Dogs Gaming.
I see Stephen Poole joined and
Yeah.
Bomberski.
Yeah, I'm on Telegram still. I still use Telegram. That's like my main chat client because it's not tied to any of these goddamn social networks. Let's see. Might have to add me again. We haven't chatted on there in a bit. But yeah, shoot me, Matt. Give me your email. You know how to get in touch with me. But yeah, so I'm gonna send you this right here. This is the starter pack. So you get the game. You get the new Aurora Mark II. The ship just came out. It's a really fucking cool starter ship.
You should show them your fleet.
I don't know if I want to admit how much I've spent on this game. I went to go buy a second one of those, but they limit you to 1 pack.
You want me to buy it?
No, it's fine. I'll just reimburse. I'll just write myself a check because I bought on my personal card. And I'll just reimburse myself the $45.
Ooh.
But if you want to see it, here, let me. I don't know how this is going to run while I'm streaming, but I'm going to try because I can show
Just like
you
that, our PCs are just gonna crash.
I had a crash the other day. I was hoping it wasn't my RAM because I went to look.
Did we ever find out if it was?
I mean, I updated the BIOS and it's been fine. I also ran a mem test on it. It came back, so I don't know what was going on. I'm loading the game up.
The newer hot rod ship. That was, I think, the Polaris.
No, I think that was the Wolf. I was flying around with the Wolf. We're just bullshitting now. I'm gonna see if this will let me stream from here. Let me see. Share screen. Windows. Star Citizen.
Bullshitting.
Let's see here. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear Krista because I selected.
Oh no.
Can you guys hear Krista? Oh, Mike's on right now.
Who? Oh.
Beal's on.
Okay.
Yeah, and so is Reclaimer. So these are our buddies we play with. This is my buddy who got us into it. But here, are they playing together? 115. Yeah, they're on the same
server. Such a small screen.
Well, it's because I'm running in the ultra wide. I have a ultra wide here.
I'm surprised it's streaming.
We'll find out. I don't know how good it's going to stream.
It looks good so far.
This computer's decent. It's not cutting edge. It's only a 7800 X3D, but yeah. So you guys are hearing Krista. I'm sorry. So in order to share the game, I have to share my whole system audio. So when she talks, you're going to hear her twice. So, but you guys will just have to deal with it. I don't care. It's the end of the stream. I'm just showing you guys. I think I'll be in my hangar. I can't remember where I signed off. I think I was. I'm probably gonna be naked because I was switching my armor. I said there's bugs. They implemented a new inventory system. I was trying to put the new armor on that I got, and it just wouldn't do it. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna spawn in my hangar just wearing a jumpsuit, and that's it. I'm about to find out. So this is to give you an idea. You can see how long it took. This is the 4090 with a 7800 X3 and 64 gigs of RAM, and it took a minute. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just in my flight suit right now. I'm going to show you the ship I'm going to gift you, Matt, if you're still watching. Here we go. For a Mark II. Oh yeah, I have two because that first one is the one that's on your package. So I'm pulling up in the hangar. While it's doing that, I'm going to see if I can put my armor on. See if the inventory is behaving tonight. Because I got a new set of armor that I was going to put on. I took my old one off, that I couldn't put a new one on. Let's see. Yeah, it's just being stupid. That's annoying. Armor. What if I just do like cores? Anyways, I don't need to have armor on to show you the ship. Okay, so the hangar just went down. Like, it's not just like you just go into the ship. It like is literally going to pull it out from my inventory, bring it up on the pad. Let's see if my inventory is behaving. They just changed all this. This used to be super janky looking, and they just did an update on here. I'm trying to find. I think this is the new one. Will it work? Okay, so it looks like it's working there. So something with the sorting is not playing nice. So I'm looking for the Mondi arms. I have a bunch of other stuff here. Here they are. Arms, and let's get helmet. Where's the Mondi helmet? Here it is. So yeah, you see I found like a little workaround there. Sometimes you gotta do shit like that. Like I said, if you don't like bugs, don't play this game. But when it runs really well, when it runs well and things are like running smoothly, it is so fucking satisfying. I'll put my my backpack on. Is that the Mondi? No. Is this the Mondi? Orden. Backpack high sec. Oh, that might be it. I think it came with this one. Yep. All right. All right. So here's the ship that's in that package. Yeah, you can just send it to me. I have the package already bought. So this is the ship that's in that package here. As I'm walking up to it. Now, your hangar will not be this big. Your hangar size at your home planet is determined by the largest ship you own. So this is the new Aurora Mark II. It replaced the original Aurora Mark 1, which was like the first one. But this comes with, you'll have this skin too that's on it, which looks pretty fucking cool. It like shifts colors. It is a gorgeous game. So, but this is a great starter ship. You got a bed, you got storage and all this other stuff here. But I'll just show you really quick. Really cool game. So, and then I also have like a head and eye tracker. So if you look as I'm looking around, Krista got this for me for Christmas. So here I can take off. I'll go ahead and put my landing gear down, or landing gear up. And you see, you can, the ship unfolds. Really cool ship. Like the design.
I really like the paint.
Such a cool ship. But yeah, so like I had to get in the ship, I had to call it. Now I can go here and I can call my hangar, and there's not that many people on this server, so it open right. Sometimes there's a queue. But it's really fucking cool. Then you can go in third person, which I recommend because like I'm gonna zip out before these hangar doors open all the way. Just because I don't want to wait. So we're gonna zip out, but you can see like we're over a planet right now. Here's a city. It's cool, and you can just kind of do whatever you want. It's a huge, huge world. I'm not gonna do too much, but you can jump to different planets. So I switched into quantum or nav mode, which is led to quantum, and there's all these different targets you can go to. And you got to be out of atmosphere. So you can see my altitude on the left or on the right side there. I got to get out of atmosphere. There's someone's ship just sitting there at 9 meters a second. So, but yeah, you can jump to other places. Like there's a ton of stuff. So if I pull up what they call their your Mobi-glass. So this is the planet I'm at now, and then you have this whole system here of all these other places you can go, and then there's 2 other star systems in addition to this. There's also the Nix system. This is Stanton, and then there's also Pyro, which you can do whatever you want. There's no laws in Pyro. So like if I shoot somebody here, I can do it, but I'll get what's called a crime stat, and then I'll have people trying to kill me because I shot other players. So, but yeah, oh, there's that other ship, someone else's ship. I think this is just abandoned. Looks like it's abandoned, but it's moving. Weird. Where's my... Okay, I'm on coupled mode. Oh no, he's in... That's another player. He's probably wondering why some guy's flying around him right now. He's getting ready to jump. Whee! He's just gonna zip off. Whoop! He's gone. He just quantumed. But yeah, it's cool. This is like our game. We play a lot. But yeah, if I'm wanting to go back to my hangar, I need to fly back in and call a hangar.
You should fly to Everest.
Oh, go to the station? No, I'm
Yeah.
almost back to down here anyways. So, but you call a hangar, so I got a button on my stick. On the keyboard or mouse, it's left Alt N, and then here. So this is where my hangar is. I'm gonna fly back down to here. This is a zippy little ship. I do really like this ship, even though I got a ton of other ones. Come in here. We're gonna put our landing gear down. The wings fold back in. Like, tell me that doesn't look fucking cool as shit. It does. It looks so fucking cool. And then it limits your speed too when your landing gear's down. So it's a good way to slow down real quick. And then we're gonna land. Tactical landing. Boom. We're gonna ship off, exit the seat. And that's it. So yeah, 4070 would definitely play this. Krista ran on a 3070 for a while. She's got like 3090 now, but a 3070 will run it, 4060 will run it. It's a cool fucking game. Really cool game. So yeah, Matt, I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, like, you can come here, and this is like where you pull everything up.
The ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
So these are like all the ships I have. I did not buy all these with actual money. A lot of these are bought in game. Some of them I bought with actual money, but not a lot of them. So, but this is actually the one that'll be gifted to Matt. That's why there's two. So, but all right, well, let's store the ship. I'm gonna sign up. Use the auto land feature. I'm good. Oh, do you play this? Yeah, they have actually VR support now. I haven't tried it. But yeah, my buddy tried it. They have VR support, which I'd imagine when you're flying is just awesome. But yeah, it's a space sim. You can, there's first person combat and stuff. Oh, do I like this better than my old armor? I think I do. It's kind of cool looking. It's kind of cool. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and quit that. Yeah, I've pledged a couple thousand, like 1 or 2.
Not 40.
No, not 40. So at a certain point, here's the thing: you can get almost every ship in game. What they do is when a new ship comes out, you can only pledge it, which means you put money in it in the game. And then a couple months later, you can buy it in game. They do it to raise funds, and a lot of people don't like that model, but like, they raised $129 million last year. $129 million. So it's cool.
It is, yeah, you could play in VR, but it is still in development, but there's some, it's pretty buggy in VR.
Yeah, Matt, you got me on Discord, Matt?
I think he's in the TH3D Discord.
I know, I can't remember what his username is on there. Trying to remember. I'm trying to see. Maybe I know I should have him on Facebook. Matt, yeah, Matt, you're Matt R, right? On Facebook here. I'm pretty sure this is you. Yeah, this is
fun.
you.
It's very chaotic.
Oh, there you go. He just sent it to me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and gift that to you right now, and then you can redeem it and then get it downloaded, installed, join our little gaming Discord server. And yeah, it's a cool game. It's a fucking cool game. All right, I just sent it to you. So you should have an email from them, and then you basically just click it. But yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was last minute, but I wanted to get back to it. So I give you guys a 2-hour stream. I want to try to do at least one a month. Basically round up all the latest 3D printer news and tech news that will probably affect people using 3D printers, like this OS.
And life news.
Yeah, life news. Yeah, we have 2 kids. And that's it, because we're done. We got our boy and a girl.
Snip, hooray.
Yeah. I got literally a week ago. I went and got a vasectomy because I'm good.
Goodbye, potato.
He's like, I was sleeping. I was sleeping, mother. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
one. And as always, happy printing. I will see you guys later.